Good morning, YouTube. Currently 5:15 a.m. Saturday. I have work starting at 7. Gym doesn't open till 7, so I'm gonna head in, use the secret code to get access. I have an empty gym to myself. I'm gonna try my best to record an upper body day. My neck is still giving me issues with my right trap, so I'm gonna see how I can get away with that. But let's see what kind of footage we can get.
Piece of me, piece of mine, took some time. I'm just reaping what I so for sure.
This is like week 1 of the new mesocycle I've been toying with on the RP app. I'm a big fan of it. It's cool to work with. It's not super game changing unless you're a complete beginner, but as a coach, I mean, it's okay. It auto-regulates your RR and things like that and just change your numbers automatically. But it's basically like an arm focus day. We start arms first, and then we're gonna move on to chest and then back, and then we're gonna call it basically. Let's get to it. Lens changing right now. If you have a lagging body part and you're placing them at the end of your workout session, there might be a big indication why they're considered a lagging body part. As you continue to work out, every single set after the other becomes less productive in a way. Loading recruitment gets less and less, and as you're towards the end of the workout, you can put out high effort. Sure, like you can go hard, train to failure, but realistically what you're getting from the actual set, it's not what you're gonna be needing to grow. And this is by far one of the best lateral delt exercises I've ever done in my entire life. And then also you're gonna wanna alternate handles where one side's gonna be on top first, next set, start with the left side on top, rinse, repeat. And the goal of this set is to make my last rep look as pretty as my first rep. Only thing I should change is the speed. I wish I can come up. Speed of coming down, be standardized every single rep. There we go. This is why I'm a big fan of RP. It tries to regulate your sessions by determining the feedback you give it every single workout. So I'm gonna ask how sore was I on the previous workout, then ask how my joints felt, things like that. Always give it the correct feedback and it's gonna auto-regulate your program moving forward. These apps will never take a coach, it will take a poor coach's place, let me say that. If you are a subpar coach, these apps will take over your job in the future. The way they work is just, it will regurgitate kind of data in a way where, it's like code. If code equals yes, do this. If code equals no, do that. That's why these apps work. They don't take a lot of other variables and nuance into them. They don't ask you how was your eating the past week, which can determine everything about progressive overload. How was your nutrition? How was your stress? How was your sleep? That's the thing these apps aren't currently doing. You're not learning from these apps, which means that you're paying these apps forever, basically. You're gonna be paying these apps forever, whereas a coach's job is to educate and inform clients. Hey, you're doing this because of this. One day I won't be here, so I want you to know how to do this so you can continue to do it when I'm not here and also teach other people at the same exact time. What I am doing for my delts, calves, basically muscles that I want to improve on this season, prioritize them. I'm gonna start doing myo match. Myo matches are very simple. Basically, if your first set gets 12 reps, your job is to get 12 reps on your additional second, third, fourth set, basically. How do you program it? Only do two sets for the start because they can demolish you depending on what muscle groups you're doing. Like imagine doing a myo match and RDL. Like you're gonna be completely destroyed if you try them out. Basically, myo match, you're gonna do your 12. On the second set, say you get 10 reps, pause, depending on what exercise it is. For me, for delts, if I pause for 5 to 7 seconds, I might get 2 to 3 reps. So my first set was 12, my second set I got 10. I'm gonna crank out my 10, quick little 3 to 5 second break. 1, 2 equals 12 reps, right? 10 plus 2. Final set, I will get 7 reps. I'm gonna do 5 second pause, 3 reps, 5 second pause, 2 reps, 3 plus 2, 5, boom, 12, 7 plus 5. Do it on muscles that recover pretty quick. That's what I tend to do. Like if you want, again, very big biceps, try on your biceps, but start with 2 sets and then ease your way up to just see how your recovery is and get some feedback like that every single week. So after I finish this RP set on actual shoulders, the app has asked me a few questions like joint pain, shoulders pump, and the overall workload on the shoulder exercises. This is one of the best biomarkers you can use for feedback regarding pump, pain, and the overall workload, because if you're working out, say, weak muscle group is your triceps. If you're doing 4 sets of triceps in one day, you train again triceps on Saturday, it's only 8 sets in a week. If you're recovering pretty well, volume is a really good marker for hypertrophy. We know mechanical tension is the #1 priority, of course. If your other markers are in check, your nutrition, your sleep, your stress, your training's on point, your efficiency, your effort, play with volume. You can, everyone's fear-mongering volume nowadays. You can work up to these high volume markers if you train for them. Don't go from 6 sets to 30 in 1 week, because that's how you just die, literally. That study that was like 50 sets of quads in a week, 54 sets, they gradually increased it, and also they pulled back the other muscle groups. When they did 54 sets of legs, they didn't just do push-pull legs, right, 6 days a week. It was like a 5-day split, I believe, with straight legs, very minimal upper body, but they learned and adapted to recover for those high volumes, basically. I'm not saying high volume is gonna be better than doing 2 sets, but just kind of play with it. If you're not sore, you know your workload can like have more load in it, basically. Go with the volume, just test it out. This is like one of those super super girthy, meaty bars I don't really like messing with. So when I first started generally working out, I was never a fan of push days and leg days. Like, I notoriously skipped leg days for the life of me. We're talking maybe 5-6 sessions of legs in a month. Tried to bench heavy with shitty technique. Ended up hurting my shoulder, like the worst pain I think I've ever had in my entire life. I hurt my shoulder, and that's what kind of got me into just really learning how to train properly and efficiently, because I was like, I don't like getting hurt. It stalled a lot of progress. So let's do it right and avoid it, basically. This is the conversation I have with a lot of clients. You guys understand the struggle they face is what I faced years ago. It's also what people watching is probably my mom. At this point, my mom, I can see my cousin and maybe best friend just having in the background for like just background noise. It's gonna be a view, but a lot of people, they relate to the same struggle. It'd be really cool just to have my clients smacked up and just talk about experiences, how much they've grown since they've been coming here working out with me. I do want to make a YouTube video on top 5 things I wish I did sooner regarding working out, and would I still be a trainer to this day after being a trainer for the past couple years. Basically, the knowledge I have now and knowing how training businesses actually work, successful training businesses, how do they work and operate? Would I still take the path of being a trainer? That's a tricky subject because I still don't know the answer to this day thinking about it, but as you notice, when I'm doing this set, I am keeping my upper arm completely still. Only thing that is flexing or extending is my elbow, right? I'm extending my elbow to contract the triceps, coming up for a nice deep stretch, pausing a little bit at the top, and then rinse repeat, right? Nothing magic about this exercise. It's super basic, but for me, it feels really good on my elbows. My left elbow has been a little bit iffy. Don't know why. It might have been poor technique down the line. The gym seems like a complicated, very scary place too. Realistically, think about it on paper. You have one workout per day, right? Say you're working out 3 days a week, 4 days a week, like most of my clients, and they generate a shit ton of results. 4 days a week, you might have 5 exercises within that day, right? You break it down 2 sets, 2 sets, 3 sets, 2 sets, 2 sets. You're looking at 11 sets in an entire workout session. But if you walk in, you can generate a shit ton of results within that time frame. If you just get in, do what you got to do, and you get out. Imagine you're playing GTA, and Lester's like, you got the money, get out of there. You're not gonna sit there, you're gonna get out of there. This is the banger that I was playing currently. You can see actually right here. This is why we play this song right here. You can extend the arms at the top. More of these elbows are bent when you come in like this. It's a lot of biceps. If you guys don't know how to correctly train your biceps, this muscle right here, this is how you extend. Every time you flex the elbows, this biceps will be flexed. So you're flexing at your elbows at the top of a chest fly. Those are your biceps that are doing the chest fly, no longer your chest. Of course, chest still gonna be involved, but like I said, when you're going to the gym, you wanna get in, get out, let's do it right. You want your muscle, which is your chest, to generate as much force as possible from that point A to point B range of motion. Powerlifting is move that weight from point A to point B. We don't do that in hypertrophy. Another thing to take note of, standardizing like I mentioned earlier. I'm a big fan of doing the same machines. There's times where I will skip the order of my exercises. It kind of matters in a way, but the grand scheme of things, it's not that big of an issue. We're talking about a hierarchy of needs. Relative effort is like number 1. Number 2 is like consistency. You can argue which one's more important, relative effort or consistency, but I like to keep the machines in order because I like numbers falling in place consistently. So it's less variables to take note of, basically. This is like a hammer strength chest fly, right? I go to a Nautilus Impact pec deck, different resistance profiles, the weight's not gonna be the same, but my relative effort's not gonna change. I'm doing 130 pounds here, over there I do 90 pounds. I'm still going to failure or 1 from failure. It's not gonna matter realistically. If that one gives you more joint pain, joint issues, don't go to that one, obviously. Come to this one. If you're going to a hotel, new gym, relative effort's all that matters. Match your intensity to whatever it is, basically. You probably also noticed on that set, I didn't manage to fully lock out at the top here. This is where I standardize my reps. If I'm coming like 80, 75%, I'm still gonna count as a rep. I'm really caring about if I can dig out of this lengthening part out of the lip. So if I come to that 75, 80% mark, that's a rep for me. Doesn't mean you have to count it for yourself, but you should know where you stop and start counting reps. 6:48, 12 minutes until we officially clock in for 5 hours straight, I believe. Not too bad of a day. No lunch break in between, so that's why I had the PB&J for breakfast. I feel like such a kid eating that, man. So many memories just eating PB&Js. It's been so nice to have the flexibility in calories. One more set, done for the workout. It's just pretty solid, actually, in less than an hour and 10, given the whole recording thing. Because recording does take some time, setting up the camera and things like that, moving it around. One more set, gonna change, get ready for Steven, and kick off for a long day of training, eating, walking, rinse, repeat, do it again tomorrow. If anyone ever questions the optimality of the workouts I choose, you gotta keep in mind that the word optimal is just doing what's best for you. Does X movement grow more muscle than X movement? Yes. Is other X movement more of a nuisance to set up? Unlikely you're gonna get the chance to set up as efficiently as the other one. Things like they have to take account of. Incline curls might get some flack, like Bayesian curls technically better. I do Bayesian curls on my other day. This day I do incline curls because it's easy to set up. Let's do a quick little physique check.
Walk back too close, you ain't even know me. Trust my brothers from way back from the north. Whiskey in the order, spend it like they owe me. Gotta stay select, don't come around to me, better come correct.
That's it for today. Like I said, maybe once a week for YouTube videos, but we'll see how it goes. Next one, maybe we'll do currently eating or 5 things I wish I would have did sooner, or would I still become a trainer knowing what I know now. But until then, I'll see you in the next one, my friends.